on. Give you all a quick little update here. We're waiting to get loaded here. Waiting to get in, pull into the pit, but they're loading rail car. And here you can't load rail and truck at the same time. So they're like 15,000 gallons. They got to get to 29,000 and then we can get loaded. But I wanted to give you guys a quick update on the truck, and then wanted to talk about the struggles about staying positive in this trucking game. You know, it's like half the battle sometimes, it seems. But I'll go over the truck real quick. That way, so you guys don't like listening to me talk, can get out of here. You just like checking the truck out. So, I told you I was going to get the catwalk powder coated. Well, I did, and it came out very nice. Truck is dirty right now, and before we had it powder coated, we drilled all the holes for the lights. So see, we're going to have 3/4 amber lights come all the way down that. Then I'm going to make out of flat bar aluminum, we're going to make a railing that starts there and comes all the way down the side. We're going to use the tabs of the fifth wheel as mounting points, and then we're going to make another bracket, because I don't want to drill any holes or anything in my frame. We'll make another mounting bracket. We'll pull these two bolts out, have another mounting bracket that comes up to here. We'll run that aluminum all the way down. So that way, when you see the truck, once we get the Phoenix lights for the cab and the sleeper, it'll basically be an amber line of 3/4 inch lights all the way down the truck. So slowly but surely, but we're getting there. And then we did get our drop turn signals that we put on back in Oklahoma. We got those turned on at Peterbilt the other day while it was in the shop. So now those blink, those down there blink, and then the two LED lights in the headlight I put in, those are blinking. And then we did go ahead and get our bumper lights put on. What you guys think about that? I think it came out all right. Kind of spaced it out. Because the bumper kind of tapers up, I didn't want to run lights all the way across the bottom, and then, you know, because I just think that would just look a little too, it's not clean, you know, and I like clean. And then we did go ahead and get our switches installed. I'll throw a few pictures up of that process. I was going to do a whole video, but the way I do my wiring, you guys would get super bored. So yeah, there's our switches. They're all in. Flip them up. They all light up amber. 2 for the front, and then the 2 for the rear. Just give you guys an idea. I'll show you the way I got the harness in. Even after I installed the lights. See? I like to wrap everything in conduit. Make it look clean, you know, original. There's our 2 plugs. One there, one there. No leaks. Oh. Sorry if it's loud, guys. Alright, let's get in here and do the rest of this. So you other guys can, hey dude man, why don't you say hi? What's up? What's up out there in YouTube land? Name's Zeus man, scared security, overworked, underpaid. Get out of here. So there's the bumper lights in action. I think they came out really well. I think we got just the right amount of amber lights on the front of this thing. There's the reverse lights, floodlights we installed. They come on automatically when you put the truck in reverse. So now I can see behind me when I'm backing up. This is the power wire we ran for our switches that come from the fuse block over to the circuit breaker we bought. And that is the harness
that we made into a loom. It's got all 4 wires that come out of this circuit breaker to the back of the switches. And there's the circuit breaker. So 1 power in, 4 powers out, 20 amp fuses in there, light up when they're blown. And then this is our ground. We went off the crash bar behind the dash, stainless screws there, and that's our ground that goes to the back of our switches. And then there's the loom we made for the ground. All 4 wires bundled together there. Keep it nice and neat. And then there is our relays. Before we wired them up, that we installed 2 underneath the hood, and then there's 2 underneath the bunk for the front and for the rear. And then there's the back of our switches with just the grounds hooked up, and then you have powers, and then you have signal circuits coming off of that. Okay, so back at it again. Oh, on to the next part of this video. Hopefully we get it done before they get this rail car loaded up. Actually got a little update on the truck, which we still have more parts in the back for this thing. The underglow 50 3/4 inch Phoenix LED lights. That was not cheap. But anyway, if I can get this friggin', it's bright outside, so I apologize. I'm gonna come in, I guess, a little this sheen or shine here. Anyway, staying positive out in this truck game. It's why you guys haven't heard from me in a while. I just been kind of down, I guess. I don't know. You know, when you're working for yourself, one of the struggles you'll find, as an owner operator is you have to be really self-motivated, because you don't have a boss, right? You only work as hard as you push yourself. When you're working for somebody, they give you a schedule and they say, hey, you're working 9 to 5. This is how many hours you're going to work this week. And, if you're slacking off at work, then they get on your case and tell you to work harder, Well, as an owner op, you don't have that, because you're the owner. It's your truck. A lot of cases, it's your truck and trailer. And so you have to push yourself. And sometimes you can push it too hard, and and burn yourself out. Sorry, guys. And I think that's what I did down there in Oklahoma. I was hitting it hard before then. But give you guys kind of an idea. I just did my second quarter IFTA, which I only had to pay in $26, which that was nice. But it was 43,000 miles and some change. Came out to about 14,000 miles for, what is it? You got January, February, March, April, May, and June. Just shy of 3,600 miles a week, and that was my average. And I may or may not do a video on that, because I broke it down to a cost per mile, which we did good. We went down 8 cents a gallon in fuel and our CPM, and our daily average to operate went down, and our fuel mileage went up. So I may or may not do a video on that. It's a lot of numbers. Shit, you guys probably don't want to hear anyway. But yeah, I was just, last couple of weeks I've been like just pissed off. I haven't want to been at work, and and I just kept pushing myself because sometimes you'll feel like you're not pushing yourself hard enough, especially if we got bills that are stacking up and you got operating costs, and all this is on your back that you have to get paid for and then some. Or it's just like, finally, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I scheduled the truck to go into the shop for a few little minor BS, a brake squeak. Had a hard start. I wanted to program those lights and then just do an overall check. And they said, well, about a week out. And I said, I'll bring it to you today. You can have it for a week. And we took a week off. Didn't even really go anywhere. Went to the driving range a couple times, spent some time at home, went and hung out with a buddy of mine at his shop, but we didn't do any work. A lot of lazing around, went to the pool, and we didn't work on this thing, because you could be, even though I love working on my truck, I love adding lights to it, and polishing it and then everything else. You guys know that. When you're working all week and then you spend all weekend working on your truck and then you're back to work on Monday, it's like there's never a break in there. And that was just it just brought me down. It was just too much. So I went home. I took this week off. It helped a lot. I'm still feeling a little like fuck it, but we're going to get back to our 5 on, 2 off, start taking our weekends off again and cut it back a little bit. Not push it as hard as we did the second quarter, and try to stay positive. You got to keep positive vibes around you, because it's already hard enough being an owner operator. It's hard enough being a truck driver, and then you add in the extra stress and stuff of being an owner operator. It can get to you if you're not careful. So if you guys don't see me, I don't answer a lot of comments. I used to before, but I mean, my channel's not big at all. It's very small in comparison to other YouTubers. But I don't know. I guess just the more people that see your videos, the more haters you get. And you get a lot of negative comments, man. You got a lot of you guys are just like, a lot of haters, man. So I don't need that negative. I already got enough negativity between getting these loads from point A to point B and dealing with four-wheelers and the weather and the government and the banks and everything else. The damn truck. I find YouTube is kind of like an escape, whereas I can, talk about, my problems that I'm having personally. When I put a video up, and I've tried to be pretty clear about this, it's my opinion. I can only tell you and give you my experience and whatever it is that I'm talking about. Like right now, I can't, trying to stay positive in trucking. It's whatever's going to help you to stay positive and help you to motivate yourself. For me, it's having enough time off in comparison to the work that I'm doing, and having some Benjamins in my pockets. For somebody else, that could be different. So just because I'm saying that's what it is for me. Just like when I talk about anything else, how to install lights, or putting that fifth wheel cover on. That's how I did it. It doesn't mean that there's not more ways to do it. A lot of people, I guess, they watch my video and they feel like I'm preaching gospel, and they should just, I don't know, they should just, that's the way it is, right? If you don't do it this way, or if this is not how you feel about something, then you're wrong. And that's totally not what I'm about. I have my personal views on a lot of stuff that I try not to put on this channel too much, because it just creates negativity. Because you can't get 3 truckers. That's why everybody's like, oh, you should organize. You guys could, shut the freight market down and raise rates and all this. You can't get 3 people in general to agree on something anymore, much less, a handful or a million, 100,000, whatever. You can't get 3 truck drivers to agree on something. So how are you going to get the whole industry? But yeah, so we're getting off topic. I apologize, but that's why I don't answer comments. I peruse through comments every now and again. I really appreciate the positive ones. Believe you me, I'm reading them every now and again when I have time, but I don't sit through there and go through every comment. And if I'm on there and I see a couple of fucking assholes, I'm just like, fuck it. I'd rather be on Facebook while I'm taking a shit than reading about how Joe Blow doesn't like how I shift my transmission, or dipshit thinks you have to be a truck driver for 10 years to not be a steering wheel holder. That one didn't make any sense. So yeah, apologizing that. But I guess the short of the long is, this probably was more of just like, not really a rant video, but just kind of expressing how I've been feeling lately, why you guys haven't seen or heard from me. But short of the long is, you gotta try to stay positive and surround yourself with positive people. You know, try to block out the bad stuff as you can, because it only gets harder as you move up in this game. As you start from, you know, a company guy to an owner operator to a carrier, you know, and if you become an agent and a broker and you roll all that into it, it only gets harder. So keep positive stuff around you. We're pulling into the pit now. Do stuff that makes you happy, and always try to do whatever you can to keep yourself motivated to keep pushing, because you got to push yourself to make that money, to get those loads moved, to get those miles in, to make the money to keep your business going. You know what I mean? Buying equipment and lights and keeping everybody happy. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does make the world go round. So that's where I got to leave you guys. I got to jump out of this truck here and throw some methanol in the trailer. As always, keep the shiny side up, and I appreciate y'all for watching. Catch you on the next vid.